Other interesting political news, you have Jasmine Crockett having a facepalm moment talking about deportation, her most mentally vacuous moment yet, which is saying something. This is brought to us thanks to End Wokeness. And when they were asking Jasmine Crockett about deportations, she's like, well, that's crazy. What other countries just push, have people come here? Yeah, they have for decades, basically. Basically the dumping ground for them. And, I mean, I would dare to say this is even more. Yeah, no. I would say this is more of a pain in the rear to watch than Kamala Harris. I think Jasmine Crockett is, dare I say, more unbearable, more mentally vacuous. Perhaps I might just have to throw a poll on the YouTube community, or poll, whatever you call that thing. And yeah, I might just have to do that poll. Now, it's only about 23 seconds, so I'm sure it'll feel like an eternity. Here's a Jasmine Crockett.
As far as I'm concerned, you randomly kidnapping folk and you throwing them out of the country against their civil rights, against their constitutional rights. And frankly, how would they feel if some other country decided that they were going to just start throwing people randomly in our country? Like that is absolutely insane. So yes, all I got to say is y'all need to get these fools out of here. But Deborah,
Grammar be damned, she did make a statement. And yeah, that's what our countries have been doing to us for decades. Trump famously said, I think one of the most first viral moments in politics was, they're not sending their best. And as we've seen, as we have more and more crime from illegals, yeah, they're clearly sending some of their worst as well. Now, this went pretty viral. Got 1.7 million views and 20,000 likes, with one of the first comments come to us thanks to Stable Genius, saying, quote, Crockett is dumber than a pile of whale dung, getting 7.7 thousand likes. And Wokeness responded saying, what did whale dung ever do to you? Getting 3.1 thousand likes, which this is an oddly specific comparison. Gunther Eagleman simply says, she cannot be this dumb, getting with 13,000 likes. Oh, she can. Power World says she's so dumb, getting 3.3 thousand likes. Cool Christian Engineer says, we need to clarify something about Crockett first. And it's a little breakdown saying her salary is $174,000, which is outrageously overpriced. But her net worth is $9 million. She also has $2 million townhouse, $1.5 million loft, and was it a $1.5 million lakefront cabin? Getting 1.2 thousand likes. But she always says that, the lakefronts are going to be overflowing with water in a couple of years because global warming, or no, they rebranded it. It's climate change is what they say now. But yeah, they keep buying lakefront property. Fascinating, weird. That's so weird. You also have Paul Zupa saying, quote, that's what's been happening for decades. How dumb is Crockett, getting 520 likes? Very dumb. Matt Van Swole says, Lord Almighty, she does not have two brain cells to rub together. They literally send all of them here. Getting 3.7 thousand likes. And yeah, true. Maverick says, quote, why is this private schooled privileged woman pretending to be so ghetto? What does she gain from this act? Getting 861 likes, which, yeah, her voice, her tone, her grammar, it all changed a little while back. He's right. She was, very much private schooled. And earlier in her political career, she sounded what people would probably say is more normal. And I think she's trying to relate to her voters and her donors. It's not too dissimilar when George W. Bush, you wind back the clock many years, actually sounded extremely articulate and pretty smart. And then when he went for president, all of a sudden he changed. He became a good old Texas boy. He dumbed down his language and her vernacular. A lot of politicians do this. That's why I disdain so many of them on the left and the right, frankly. Is this actually her earlier in her career? Yo Me says, quote, why does she behave like this? It's all an act. Here's a video of Jasmine Crockett from, doesn't say the date, but it's earlier in her career.
Absolutely. First of all, it's good to see you in the new year. No one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan.
Yeah, she sounds very different compared to.
As far as I'm concerned, you randomly kidnapping folk and you throwing them out of the.
Which, again, grammatically speaking, she means they sent one person because you said folk, not folks. But aside the point, she sounds very, very different. Let's see, is anyone sticking up for her, saying she's great? The same memes every time. Every time there's a thing about Jasmine Crockett, someone is holding an old tire with all the phrase, and it says, I found one of Jasmine Crockett's eyelashes, getting 131 likes, which I think is silly when all women do this. I don't know if she does it more than anyone else, but yeah, they seem to be really obsessed with very large eyelashes, which no guy really cares about. I don't even know who started that stupid trend. And this is credited to Sons of Liberty 357, which I think is probably most likely correlated to good old caliber pistol. Though one may argue God's Caliber 45 ACP is more old school, but I partially digress. Not seeing. There's Mr. Pitbull saying her owner. It's George Soros's son, looking creepier than usual, which is saying something. Though he did suit up. He did something right. Guy getting 348 likes. But again, this is one of the most fastest growing in popularity representatives on the Democrat Party. And who knows? Maybe she'll be the front runner next time around. I mean, shoot. People, they seem to like her more and more on the left. And again, she's making these statements for reasons. She's raising a lot of campaign funds. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.